True crime travesty and the attempted murder of me. The swinging ram is a kinetic breaching device. On impact, high velocity is instantly transferred to the door. Kinetic energy is inherently risky. The ram uses firearm hybrid physics. It unleashes a violent explosive energy, and 1,200 joules is typical. 1,500 joules is an extreme hazard and likely lethal for average adult males. Burglar has perfected the physics. They called me to open the door, and I was doing so at the moment of impact. The door hit me, and shockwaves threw me backwards. My body absorbed the explosion. Cerebrospinal fluid leaked from my ears. I've gone deaf. I'm lucky to be alive. The harm caused was foreseeable. The burglars knew I was at the door, and they rammed it. This is the moment they attempted to murder me. My name is David Yarrow Griffiths. I am a burgled, robbed and displaced protected occupier, and there are plenty of people who want to see me dead. I suffered GBH due to the use of this kinetic breaching device. This video evidences the crime against me reaches the sentencing threshold for attempted murder. I am a victim of non-fatal strangulation. I have experienced sustained, aggravated and repeated assaults from robbers, and Metropolitan Police refuse to investigate. I own this house, 40 Archbishop's Place, London, SW2 2AJ, outright. Value approx 1 million. Blackmail is being used to displace me and rob me of ownership. I own my farm, Wyfold Grange, Oxfordshire, RG4 9HU, outright. Value 40 million approximately. Blackmail has been used to displace me and rob me of ownership. On the 7th of the 9th, 2023, 5 police personnel committed aggravated burglary at my farm. They displaced me and my family and took adverse possession. They stole my business and made us homeless. Thames Valley Police refused to explain. On the 8th of the 5th, 2026, there was an attempt on my life during an aggravated burglary at my house. Once again, I've been unlawfully displaced. This breaching ram was weaponized by burglars who called themselves bailiffs, causing me GBH. This daylight robbery follows years of bullshit and blackmail.
Can I buy this open up? Open the door, please.
Calm down. Big animal. Calm down. Camera on you. You need to come out now. No! Out.
The burglars carry blackmail letters. They lie and call themselves bailiffs and High Court enforcement officers. I own my house outright. I have no debt and no landlord who can evict me. These men are criminals. They know they've injured me. When they kick open my door, I'm on my back on the stairs. Now they commit aggravated burglary.
My head and body take the impact of the breaching ram. The door is left ajar and the force throws me back and I land on my stairs. My door only swings open when the burglar kicks it.
They knocked on my door and called out, "Bailiffs, open up! Open the door!" I'd seen them through the window above my front door as I rushed downstairs, and they would have seen me.
Can I bailiffs, open up! Open the door!
Jesus Christ, he hit me in the f***ing face! They intended the door to hit me and cause my death. He knocked and called me to the door. He rammed the door. The harm is foreseeable, and they are equally culpable for attempted murder. They are also mates with the police.
What's happened to me? Police are here.
Mr. Naylor is an attempted murderer, a burglar, not a High Court enforcement officer, and he's mates with the police.
Good morning, gents. Appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. Okay, so just explain who I am. My name is Naylor.
This is stamped already.
This is bullshit. Don't push me.
Naylor and the police's issue is that I've been seriously injured by Naylor and his men, and I want police to arrest them, and Naylor wants the police to back up his blackmail and cover up his attempted murder. The blonde constable is PC Pearl, and he's the mob's go-to. PC Pearl had previously covered up strangulation and GBH committed against my wife and I, and classified the offences as car crime.
The county court has no jurisdiction for anything like this.
This attempted murderer and aggravated burglar had stood at my front door and shouted, "Bailiffs!" But a minute earlier he brandished blackmail and had told my wife he was an enforcement agent for the High Court and that he had a writ and had come to take possession of our house as though he was acting for a landlord. We own our house. We don't have a landlord. Naylor and his men represent an extreme risk to public safety. We have received a huge amount of blackmail. Menacing, unwarranted demands have been made. It is falsely alleged our Brixton house is in Wales, and falsely alleged we owe Lloyds Brand, Bank of Scotland, a £213,000 mortgage. The blackmail falsely states that we are trespassers. My wife put the correct law on our garden fence to prove the falsity of the blackmail to the stalkers who were hand-delivering blackmail. Lloyds Brand, Bank of Scotland, isn't a bank and doesn't provide mortgages. I've never had a mortgage. The blackmail includes this forged and defective mortgage deed. HM Land Registry supports the crooks and unlawfully registered the blackmail to my house's title, giving blackmailers ownership of my £1 million house. Some of the blackmail said my house belonged to Lambeth Council, and my family and I were council tenants, and we were going to be evicted for trespassing. Possession, rent, local authority. I'm the registered freehold owner of my house, and I bought it outright for cash in 1999. In November 2025, my wife and I met with the then Mayor of Lambeth to discuss the blackmail and Lambeth Council's connection. Following our meeting, the Mayor emailed and said the Council's legal department advised that my wife and I were victims of a scam to rob us of our house. Blackmail, threats, doorstepping harassment and stalking are police matters, but the police did not contact my wife and I about any of these crimes. My wife and I contacted Lambeth Council's Trading Standards Department multiple times, but they breached their legal duty to investigate and prosecute door-stepping scammers. The ludicrous blackmail states there's a county court order for possession of my £1 million house and a CCJ £234,514.83. The county court has no jurisdiction for values above £5,000. The fake claim number is L2PP7990 and there's no record of it. Case number invalid. No results found. No records were found. The mob ignored the law my wife had put on the garden fence. They are 100% confident they will get away with their crimes.
What is all this?
Okay, my name's Mr. Naylor. I'm an enforcement agent for the High Court for bailiff from Travesty.
Here, this is the law.
Yeah,
and you're not.
With respect, we're coming past you, madam. Thank you.
You're coming past me and doing what?
Taking possession of premises.
No, you're not.
Hello, bailiffs, open up. Open the door, please.
A reasonable person would know using a ram after calling someone to open the door would endanger life. They used the ram to injure me and then punch me.
There's no law that
All these males aided and abetted the crimes of attempted murder and aggravated burglary. They assaulted my wife. She was held against her will and prevented from seeing me. My wife is Carol Jamie, the journalist and former Guardian columnist. Carol's got a master's in law and trained to be a barrister. We know the law and our lawful position. However, as our media shows, the rule of law doesn't apply to us. We have no human rights. The mob can injure and rob us and make us homeless, and police protect the mob, and courts lose our claims. Blackmail is a police matter. Blackmail, Section 21, Theft Act 1968. 1. A person is guilty of blackmail if, with a view to gain for himself or another, or with intent to cause loss to another, he makes any unwarranted demand with menaces. 2. The nature of the act or mission demanded is immaterial. Carol and I are victims of blackmail. We received multiple unwarranted demands with menaces. Because we refused to be blackmailed, on the 8th of the 5th, 2026, we were victims of aggravated burglary, the attempt on my life, and display from our house. Aggravated burglary is a police matter. Aggravated burglary, Section 10, Theft Act 1968. 1A. A person is guilty of aggravated burglary if he commits any burglary and has with him any weapon of offence intended to incapacitate. It is a serious offence if he enters a building as a trespasser, inflicts or attempts to inflict dubiate, or has mens rea for an ulterior offence when inside. Attempted murder is a police matter. Attempted murder, Section 1 and Section 4, Criminal Attempts Act 1981. If a person does an act that is more than merely preparatory to the commission of the offence, he is guilty of attempting to commit the offence. A person guilty of the offence of attempted murder will be liable to imprisonment for life. The culpability of the offender, aggravating factors, and degree of harm to victim determines sentence length. Criminal Damage Act 1971. Section 1. A person who, without lawful excuse, destroys or damages property belonging to another shall be guilty of an offence. Section 3. A person who has anything in his custody or under his control, and he or another use it to destroy property without lawful excuse, and does so in a way to endanger life, shall be guilty of an offence.
Naylor tells my wife, "We're taking possession of your premises." Doesn't say I'm acting for the owner, Mr. and Mrs. Bloggs, and taking back possession for the owner from you because you're a trespasser squatter. Doesn't even say we're taking possession for the lender, Bank of Scotland. Repossession is the correct term in the case of mortgage arrears. I'm the owner. Taking possession of your premises is the admittance to me that he and his gang are intent on aggravated trespass, burglary, squatting and extortion. Thank you.
Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994. Section 61. Occupier means the person entitled to possession of the land. Section 68. Aggravated trespass, intimidation of those engaging in lawful activity. Section 69. Only a constable in uniform can take action in aggravated trespass. Section 72. Residential occupier displaced by squatters can retake their land. Section 74. Protected intending occupier has a freehold interest. The use of the breaching ram was gratuitous violence.
They used the ram to smash my kitchen door and my back garden gate. I was confronted by 11 men in stab vests. Criminal Law Act 1977, Section 6, offence to use or threaten violence for entry when opposed by someone inside. I was opposed to their violence.
Calm down! You fucking animals! Calm down! What the fuck is that?
The
breaching ram was weaponised. When they arrived, they watched my son use his old key to enter the house. They knew the door wasn't barricaded. They came with an agreed plan to cause gratuitous violence above what was required to carry out the burglary and adverse possession offence. The attempt on my life was personal for them. This thug punched me and tried to yank me out of my house. For this male making an attempt on my life and breaking in and using blackmail like this badly forged writ to rob me and taking adverse possession of my house was personal. As he followed me downstairs, he said, "You shouldn't have killed Hitler." I've had that said to me a few times. And my wife has similar said to her. We know the police backed the mob and we are outnumbered. All we could do was document the crimes on video in order to publicly share and warn the public that this is happening. Our sons are also protected occupiers, and PC Pearl made sure they were thrown out and made homeless. In the UK today, anyone can be robbed of ownership of their house and land and made homeless.
Mate, it's open up. Open the door, please.
You have no authority here. You have no authority here.
Jesus! What? Hit me in the f***ing face! Stop! Stop! You just hit me in the face! Calm down! You big animal! Calm down! What the what's that? It's my f***ing camera, you f***ing...
We're coming in.
You need to come out now.
No!
Out! Come out now. You need to come
You're
out.
not allowed!
You need to come
You're not allowed to force! You're not allowed to force
You need to
entry!
come out right
You're not allowed to force entry!
You need to come out.
You're not allowed to force entry!
Out you come.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
You need to come out now.
What's your name?
Come out now.
What's your name?
Come out and we'll talk to you.
People are coming to our house.
You need to leave, sir. You need to leave.
Who are you?
We're enforcement agents. We'll talk to you outside.
They're aggravated burglars and I'm injured.
You are completely illegal. You're criminal.
Talk outside, sir.
Since 2024, you think you're going to say Eric Rowe has got the wrong warrant and writ number? We've phoned the High Court. There isn't a writ. There's no writ. There's not a writ.
Right now.
And there's not a warrant. So what are you doing? So what are you doing? We haven't got a writ. Why? Why?
The possession order.
No, there isn't. That was in 2024, which was bollocks. And there's no writ. There's no writ. You've hit me. And you bust the door. You bust my glasses. You've hit my head. You've now injured me. I'm waiting for the police. Get out of the house.
Move back so we can talk.
No, you move back.
Mr. Griffiths.
You move back.
Griffiths, move
back. No, you move back. You move back, you thugs. You criminals. You criminals. That's hilarious.
Easy.
You smack me in the face. Wow. This is a lawless society. Amazing. Wow. This really is phenomenal. Where's the writ? Where's the writ and where's the warrant? Where's the writ? Where's the writ and where's the warrant? Where's the writ? Show me your paperwork.
We will show you in a minute. It's obviously a bit difficult with all the aggression and everything.
Yeah, that's GBH.
You, sir.
That's GBH from smashing that door into my
Trying to punch
face.
me in the face. So let's
You are, God, you're a liar as well. You're an absolute liar.
You're going to need to leave today.
You're a criminal and a liar.
Okay, but you still need to leave today, sir. I'll get your paperwork.
Yeah, I want to see the paperwork.
But you will be leaving.
Because I've already phoned the High Court and I've phoned the Land Registry and there's nothing there. There's no writs, there's no warrants.
I know that's what you believe. That's not the case.
Ha! I can play it to you. It's recorded and it's
What you
online.
believe. We have a copy of it here for you.
Wow.
There's your copy. You're going to need to leave now.
This is not a writ. This is an application form called Number 66 Combined Writ of Possession and Control. The criminals have downloaded the Number 66 from the internet, altered the layout and omitted sections. The public use the Number 66 application form to apply for a writ. It is used with the N293A certificate and correct procedure governed by CPR 83. Needless to say, this is not correct procedure. This is blackmail and thugs rule. The Number 66 application form is used by owners, landlords to evict trespassers, squatters, and has no legal relevance to me. This is blackmail to displace my family from my house and rob me of ownership. The criminal is committing aggravated trespass, amongst other more serious crimes. I am the owner. Lawfully, I could use the Number 66 procedure to evict him, not vice versa. The Number 66 is the application form to get a combined writ. It is not a writ. The blackmailers have put their forged stamp on it. A genuine writ is sealed with a King's Bench impress seal and is not stamped like a library book. The criminals haven't completed the application form and haven't entered the fee payable to the High Court Enforcement Officer, i.e. the burglars are robbing me of my £1 million house for free. Anyone can download the Number 66 application form from the internet. This is bullshit. The blackmailers are throwing me out of the house I own with a Number 66 application form. Blackmailing burglars are confident the police will back up their crime and I'll be robbed of my second house. None of the case numbers on this forgery are lawful and are not found on official records.
Where's the writ number? Where's the number? Show me the writ number.
County Court claim number's at the top. The writ number's up here.
And where's the warrant? Where's the
There's
warrant
no
number?
warrant. It's a writ. I know you don't believe it's real. I understand that, but it is.
There isn't a High Court case.
Okay.
It was done in the county court.
We're not getting.
There is no
I'm
High
not getting-
Court.
This is not court. We're not debating with you.
No,
You're going to need to leave.
I know
sir.
you're not
You're
because
going to be leaving,
you
sir.
are. You don't want to hear the
hate
truth.
it. Oh, so you say. I understand.
It's the
But you're still
truth.
going to need to leave.
It hasn't been in the High
We're not
Court.
here
You can't
debating
take
with you.
possession in the county court.
You're going to.
You
be
have to
leaving
go
today,
in the
sir.
High
This
Court.
is not a court. We're not here to debate this with you. You're going to need to leave.
You're full of shit.
So you say, but you're still going to need to leave, sir.
There's no warrant.
I'm not arguing with you, sir. You're going to need to go.
You haven't got
Sir,
a High Court
You're going to need
case,
to leave.
and it's over 3 months since
Sir,
the last.
sir, does this look like a courtroom to you?
Doesn't matter.
It
It's
does
what
matter.
happens
This-
in the court is
You're saying it's all
you're
wrong.
doing
You're
what's
saying
in the
it's all
court.
false. I'm telling you it's not. We're not going to be able to settle this,
No,
are we?
we're
But
not. So
need
you
to
should
leave.
go away.
That's not happening, is it? You're going to need to leave now, sir.
You should go away.
Please, just leave of your own accord. There's no need for this to get any worse than it's already got.
Can't get much worse. That's GBH. That's GBH.
And so was what you.
And what's your name?
Jordan Diggins. You're still going to need to leave.
You're
though,
doing
sir.
what company?
Wilson and Rowe. You've got.
From Salford. You're not even in the right district.
There are no districts.
Wrong. This meathead insists he's got a writ, but in this grotesque travesty, he's incompatibly never heard of a district registry. Writs are obtained from district registries and pertain to the district.
There are no districts.
Are you Eric Rowe?
Do I look like Eric Rowe? You got his picture outside. Do I look like Eric Rowe?
You do a bit, yeah.
Okay, fine. You still need to leave, though, sir.
We had received absurd blackmail informing us that Eric Rowe from Salford was the High Court Enforcement Officer to have been authorised to attend my house in London, SW2 2AJ, on behalf of the falsely alleged landlord Bank of Scotland to evict my family for trespassing. The High Court told us Rowe's writ number was wrong. Eric Rowe appears to be an alias. In any event, Rowe failed to attend, and Naylor, Diggins and the other attempted murdering thugs had come and broken the law and broken into my house instead. Two men not in police uniform who had said they were unmarked resource constables attended my house, but on seeing my wife's video camera they abruptly left. Facial recognition software matches PC Pierce with Eric Rowe. Video of PC Pierce shows he apparently attended to gloat. My wife told him what had happened and the crimes being committed, and he should enforce the law. And he falsely retorts that aggravated burglary that uses a battering ram to break into an occupied dwelling and causes GBH is a civil matter.
You're not enforcing the law.
We're here to prevent a breach of the peace, and there's
A breach of the peace? Yes, someone's just broken into my
to
house.
prevent a breach of the peace.
That's
a civil matter.
No, it's not. Breaking and entering is a criminal offence.
I was going to say, we're not here to force entry or anything, we're just here to make sure everything's fine.
Well, everything is not fine.
So these gentlemen over here, they'll guide you through the rest of the...
Everything is not fine.
PC Pierce and PC Fraser direct my wife back to the criminals to guide us through the rest of the robbery, and I'm left for dead. PC Fraser said, "We're not here to force entry. Police entry power is for felony and must be warranted. Under Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994, only uniformed police can act to prevent aggravated trespass. Under European human rights law, of which the UK is a signatory, my family and I have protected residential occupier status. At this material time, we're in the process of being robbed and becoming displaced, and I had a brain injury from the kinetic ram used to break down my door, and these police constables were walking away." Facial recognition software has matched PC Fraser to Graham Tong. Tong is a known neo-Nazi and currently involved in a criminal enterprise involving probate blackmail and online fake news intended to rob my wife of ownership of her bungalow, 4 Millbrook Dale, Axminster, Devon. Graham Tong's son-in-law is called Eric, and Eric is a latter-day black shirt and supporter of Oswald Mosley. Diana Mitford married Brian Guinness. After the birth of her sons, Desmond and Jonathan Guinness, she divorced and married Oswald Mosley and had another son, Max Mosley. Graham Tong caught on camera unlawfully taking Carol's possessions from her bungalow. Carol knows the Guinness family. This is Desmond Guinness with Carol's sons. Camera-shy Desmond asks if they could dress like servants, and Carol dressed like a witch for a photo with him. Desmond and grandson Finbar. Desmond avoids cameras, and when he saw Carol was also taking pictures, he goofed and ran away. Desmond and Jonathan Guinness and Max Mosley's mother was Lady Diana Mosley, née Mitford. Oswald and Diana Mosley were friends with Adolf Hitler and other prominent Nazis. This is Carol's photo showing Carol with her father's sister, Eileen Arrowsmith. The photo of Carol's aunt Eileen was stolen from Carol's Facebook, and an AI tweet version was used by the Telegraph to falsely represent Eileen as Lady Diana Mosley on the occasion of Lady Mosley's reported death. During World War II, Carol's aunt, Eileen Arrowsmith, was the Wren Eileen Jamie. Eileen was opposed to fascism and would have been horrified to have had her image unlawfully used by the Telegraph to represent Lady Diana Mosley. Carol's father, George Jamie, worked for GCHQ during World War II and was behind enemy lines. After 1945, the identities of intelligence officers were leaked and they were hunted down, including Carol's father. Neo-Nazi black shirts married George's sisters. Post-1945, George Jamie worked for Hoover Limited. The Guinness and Mosley families are brewing and media barons. Media can satirise and harass victims and be used to blackmail. The movie Our Man in Havana, starring Alec Guinness, satirises George Jamie.
And here is Cuba. I'm not quite so happy about 59200/5. Who's he? Our Man in Havana, sir.
I trust he's a man of substance, Hawthorne. Small men are worse than useless.
He's an untrained man, sir.
Then we should consider sending him a trained staff.
Why have I got to have a lovely secretary?
Marianne Faithful was Carol's mother-in-law. Marianne's mother and father, Eva and Glenn, brought braziers, a neighbouring South Oxfordshire estate to my farm, Wyfold Grange, and walkable across the fields. My parents knew Marianne's father, Glyn Faithful. In World War II, Glyn was a major in the British Army. He was a linguist and he translated testimony of captured prominent Nazis. Glyn and Marianne spoke to Carol about the neo-Nazi harassment they experienced. After Margaret moved in to Braziers, the estate became overrun with ultra-right-wing fanatics. Marianne describes some of this in her autobiography. Later print runs edit this out. Margaret, Glyn's second wife, Glyn, Marianne, holding her grandson, baby Oscar, Brazier's 1994. Carol Jamie interviewed the famed socio-evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers on several occasions for The Guardian and other platforms. After Darwin, he is the most influential evolutionary scientist, and Carol's own doctoral research is grounded in Robert Trivers' seminal theories on the evolution of altruism. Carol and Robert also discussed the effect of being targeted by far-right fanatics. He explained how academics and lawyers at Harvard and other universities stalked and harassed him because of his father's World War II diplomatic work. Detractors included some of his own PhD students. Because of his father, Howard Trivers' efforts denazifying post-war Germany, Robert was a lifelong target of insurgent neo-Nazis. He spoke to Carol of far-right doctors who misdiagnosed him. He spoke of Churchill's prescience regarding Nazi-perverted science and said he expected doctors to kill him in the end. In Winston Churchill's Their Finest Hour speech, he forewarned of a despotic future if Britain didn't defeat Hitler's tyranny, a new dark age made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted science. Scientists and medics know about drug and treatment side effects that mimic diseases' symptoms and eventually kill. If there's no disease symptoms, there's no disease to be diagnosed. People who are well and with no disease symptoms are pressured to have tests and are prescribed drugs they don't need and given unnecessary medical procedures. They're told to take drugs preventatively, persuaded to have unjustified treatment that's alleged to hold back symptoms of diseases that they do not have, but will cause symptoms that mimic the disease they've been wrongly diagnosed with. A wrong cancer diagnosis results in radiation treatment that causes cancer. Perverted science killed Marianne Faithfull. She had no disease or condition to warrant the drugs she was prescribed. Marianne asked Carol to find out why she was trapped in Denville Hall, and where her money had gone, and why doctors and a manager were forcing her to take lethal fentanyl daily for the last years of her life, until it inevitably killed her. Fentanyl is classed as a narcotic, and is contraindicated in recovered heroin addicts. Marianne said she was worth more dead, and she compared the control Professor Dr. Goodman had over her with the fate of Michael Jackson and Prince. Carol and I with Marianne in Marianne's poky single bedroom in Denville Hall, Ducks Hill, Pinner. The contraindicated and banned drugs, amlodipine, fentanyl, etc., prescribed to Marianne caused her angioedema, and other side effects made her wheelchair bound. Perverted science killed George Jamie. Doctors told him he could develop Parkinson's disease, and he was prescribed metoclopramide preventatively and told it would protect against Parkinson's disease. Metoclopramide side effects mimic Parkinson's disease symptoms and also cause tardive dyskinesia, which is a specific type of permanent neurological damage. George was kept on metoclopramide and other harmful drugs by doctors at the Axminster Medical Centre until they inevitably killed him. During this period, his niece and nephews, his eldest daughter, his son-in-law harassed and financially drained him.
Beatrice, there's a wormhole, a cable.
Perverted science killed my mother. Dr. Chandra at the NHS Royal Berkshire Hospital persuaded her of the falsity that 2 10-centimetre metal stents, one in her throat and one in her stomach, would cure her indigestion. The stents inevitably killed her. 7 months later, she died from irreparable internal damage. Robert Trivers spoke of the rewriting of World War II's history. This image is a forgery that gives Britain a fake history. My grandfather, Sir Harold Yarrow, of Yarrow Shipbuilders, the makers of Britain's World War II destroyers, stands far left. My grandmother, Lady Yarrow, stands next to him, and my uncle, Sir Eric Yarrow, stands right. My mother has been erased from the image and replaced by a boy doing a Nazi salute. It's a 3-mile walk through Brazier's Common and Ipsden Woods, from Marianne's childhood home and her father's home, Brazier's Park, to my farm, Wyfell Grange. Wyfell Grange is a prehistoric site of antiquity. The Ordnance Survey have demoted Wyfold Grange's historical significance by removing legend symbols and Gothic front from their maps. Wyfold Grange Farm sits on top of an Iron Age fort. There is another Iron Age fort only 600 metres away. In 1923, Lord Wyfold wrote about the twin Iron Age forts and the Plantagenet kings that resided at Wyfold Grange in the book The Upper Thames Valley. Maps predating the theft of my farm show the Iron Age earthwork that surrounds my house. Ancient yew trees grow on my prehistoric earthwork. The twin Iron Age fort is in my wood. The criminals who stole my farm from Carol and I are concealing the prehistoric heritage because they are going to build a town here. Fake news about my wife, Carol Jamie, and a bogus probate hearing was published by the Mail Online. The fake news was picked up and reprinted. The whole fabricated story alleges a probate hearing took place in the business court at the Rolls building. The fake news states a judge gave control of my wife's bungalow to an alleged solicitor called Neil Worry. The fake news facilitates crime against Carol by Patricia and Samantha Tong, and the crime includes ownership theft of my wife's bungalow. On the 8th of the 5th, 2026, the day of the attempted murder of me, these blackmailers visited Carol's bungalow. Carol and our son Oscar received blackmail demanding money and fake and forged court papers about Carol's bungalow, 4 Millbrook Dale, Axminster, Devon, EX13 5EF. A fake probate claim was sent to them by Pat Tong, Graham Tong's wife and Carol's sister. Carol and Oscar did not engage with the fake probate claim, did not reply to any of the blackmail, and they did not attend the fake probate hearing that Tong alleged took place at the Rolls building. Probate procedures governed by CPR 57. CPR 57.10 specifies that default is not possible in probate. Carol and Oscar did not reply to the probate blackmail and they did not attend the alleged hearing. Therefore, if Tong's fake, menacing and unwarranted probate demand was authentic and not crime, it would have been in default and a hearing could not have taken place. CPR 57.10 proves this is fake news. The story is 100% fiction. Nothing in this article ever took place. There was no 2-hour hearing, and Judge Catherine McQuail agreed nothing, removed no one, and directed nothing. Both images show the entrance to the Rolls building on Fetter Lane. This is not the High Court at the Royal Courts of Justice on the Strand. A probate trial takes place at the High Court District Registry pertaining to the land and not at the Rolls building. Tong is seen here outside the Rolls building, but the caption falsely states Patricia Tong outside London's High Court. At the date of publication, 23rd of 10th, 25, Champion News had no website and no photos. The fake news is attributed to the fake John Brady. The cut across the nose and neck show it's a composite image. A genuine probate claim must be made on an N2 probate claim form and issued at the District Probate Registry serving the land, i.e. the probate registry for the district where the land is located. Tong's blackmail includes a fake probate claim issued erroneously from the Rolls building on the wrong form. Patricia Tong and Samantha Tong's blackmail consists of forged court documents making menacing and unwarranted demands. This is the N2 and it must be used. The Tong's claim form was not an N2 and they have no grounds for a justified claim against Carol and Oscar. Blackmail via fake and ludicrous court action is used by the ultra-right-wing mob to rob people. Criminals with far-right politics use blackmail and thuggery to asset strip us, displace my family, make us homeless and rob us of ownership of our houses and land. We are like refugees in our own country. My farmhouse and business, Wyfell Grange, Oxfordshire, RG4 9HU, is now in aggravated illegal possession. 40 Archbishop's Place, London, SW2 2AJ, is now in aggravated illegal possession. 4 Millbrook Dale, Axminster, Devon, EX13 5EF. Illegal possession has been attempted.
Okay, fine. You still need to leave.
Wow.
I'm not debating with you.
No.
No, I'm not. No,
I know you're not, because you're lying.
So you say. You still need to leave.
Burglars stand in my son's bedroom in the house I own outright. I'm shown unconvincing blackmail and told, "You need to leave." This is a travesty. This is a charade. But there's more of them, and they have the muscle and the police. The rammer who attempted to murder me stands in the doorway and watches.
Please, just leave of your own accord.
3 professional squatters in high vis waiting to move into my house.
Did you serve a writ?
You were served, yeah.
Where?
Here.
There was no writ served.
So you say so. I'm not getting into a debate with you. It was all done correctly. If you think it was done wrongly, you can go through whatever channels you need to do to deal with that. You're not there to deal with it now.
This is how criminals endorsed by police take adverse possession of other people's houses.
Incredible.
Sure.
This can't
Are you leaving, sir?
We'll wait for the police.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will. I have a right to wait for the police.
Do with the police.
Of course it does. You've injured me.
It's a
You
civil
smashed the
offence.
door in
This
my
is a civil
face. It
matter.
becomes an
It's a
assault.
civil matter.
It's an assault.
But that doesn't mean you don't leave.
It means that I'm waiting for the
You
police.
think we've committed?
I'm
that does not change
I'm
the
waiting
fact
for the police.
You being evicted is a civil matter, and you need to leave.
A civil matter, says the burglar. The robber and PC Pierce concur. I am the outright debt-free owner of my house. An outright owner of land cannot be evicted from their land. Only the owner can evict a person from their land. I'm the owner, and this thug is the trespasser who needs evicting. To avoid the criminal courts, organised criminals package their serious crime of blackmail, imitation court process, extortion and land theft as a civil matter. This is a blackmail scam to rob landowners. They want me and my family out so they can change the locks and install their squatters. If you don't get back in within 10 years, they will have it. They are extreme squatters. The blackmail involved the 120 form for evicting tenants from Welsh property. My house is in Brixton, London, not Wales. The blackmail falsely stated Bank of Scotland, who don't provide mortgages, had given me a £213,000 mortgage. My house is worth £1 million approximately. If it were true that Bank of Scotland had given me a £230,000 mortgage, because the house is worth £1 million, I could pay them off and be left with £787,000. But there is no mortgage. The mob want my land. They are asset stripping me. They want my family homeless.
That does not change
I'm
the
waiting
fact
for the police.
You being evicted is a civil matter, and you need to leave.
Doesn't matter.
So you
If you've injured
it's a
me,
civil
it's
matter.
now
It's
a criminal
you
matter.
You leaving is a civil matter.
It's a criminal
so
matter.
you need to leave. You can make any complaint you want
No,
about us.
I'm waiting
you
for the
can do it
police.
outside.
I don't feel safe with you. You've already injured me. You smashed the door into my
need to
face.
leave, sir.
You cut my finger.
So if you
and I've
don't
broken it.
We're going to have to make you leave.
I'll wait for the police.
While we wait for the police, Mr. Naylor, the attempted murderer and fake High Court enforcement officer, proffers for more blackmail.
Okay, so do you appreciate why we're here today? We're here to execute the High Court writ.
It's not a High Court case. What's the case number?
Well, the writ gives us entitles us to take possession of the premises, sir.
I've been in touch. I've got Trust Online. It says I have no CCJ. There's no case. There's no case in the High Court. You're saying it's a High Court case. Thank you. Again. Yeah, that's not a High Court case.
No. That's the order of possession that was issued by the courts.
In September 2024.
There's judge.
2024.
Sir,
You have 3 months.
No, we don't, sir.
Yes, you do.
There's a judgment there.
Yeah.
Okay, and as I said to you,
That's not a High Court case. It's a county court. Small claims.
It's been transferred up to the High Court. Sir.
That's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous.
I've been on the High Court serve, and there is no case.
So there's a stamped writ in front of you, sir. Sir, there's a stamped writ in front of you, sir.
Library books are stamped. Writs are sealed. They are not stamped.
Sir, there's a stamped writ in front of you, sir.
If Naylor was a genuine High Court enforcement officer instead of a criminal, he would know writs are sealed.
Sir, there's a stamped writ in front of you.
It's a lie. That's not. It's transfer. It maybe says transfer, but it hasn't been tried in the High Court. You've just got someone to go.
It doesn't need to be, sir.
Yes, it does. Of course, it does. That is absolutely ridiculous. You have to go to the High Court.
So we're going to be asking you to leave the premises today.
You have to go to the High Court.
Okay, you'll be told.
You have to have a High Court case.
Naylor avoids my camera. This is a con. The crime gang have many victims. I've no debt and no mortgage. Nothing they say is genuine or relevant. I want police to arrest these criminals who are committing aggravated burglary, have attempted to kill me and are robbing me of another of my houses. While I wait in hope for police to arrive, I try to stand my ground. The thugs want me dead, and I argue with them over their bullshit blackmail that has no lawful relevance to me. They lie and state a county court ruled in their favour. My house is in Wales, and this is a civil matter. I must leave now and hand over possession of my £1 million house to these crooks and pay a CCJ of £234,514.83, when all of this is an impossibility because under the County Court Act 1984, County Court maximum jurisdiction is £5,000. Bullshit blackmail says Bank of Scotland gave me a mortgage and my house belongs to Lambeth Council. In December 2025, the Mayor of Lambeth stated there was a scam to rob me of my house. It was hard arguing with organised crime. My head and spine hurt. My ears were wet with fluid. I was losing my voice and worried if I sat down I'd collapse. I was worried about my wife. I could hear her shouting, but didn't know thugs were preventing her from entering her house.
While I try to stand my ground at my house, 40 Archbishop's Place, London SW2 2AJ, these crooks make me an offer. But they present their final solution to me hundreds of miles away at the location of my wife's bungalow, 4 Millbrook Dale, Axminster, Devon, and due to HM Land Registry corruption, I'm not formally linked to this address. Their note confirms they know we're in London, but they knock for effect. The man and woman enter the bungalow's porch and snoop around. They carry papers but leave behind this handwritten note. Hello? Dear Mr. Davey, could you kindly call me when you get this note? I am here today, ref to your property, 40 Archbishop's Place. It has been taken into possession by the lender, but you can still make money out of this negative situation. Please call me on 07398190903. Regards, Hannah. Taken into possession by the lender. Possession is not action that genuine regulated lenders take. Owners take possession of their land, house, etc. back from trespassers, squatters. Repossession is action lenders take against borrowers in arrears, but only if the lender owns the majority share. There is no High Court enforcement officer, and I'm not a tenant or trespasser. The writ provides landowners with a greater protection than they would have under common law. I'm the landowner with no protection. The writ of possession is issued by the High Court after a judgment or order for possession of either property or land against persons unknown. They call me Mr. Griffiths. I am not an unknown trespasser. Once the eviction is completed, the writ of possession will need to be signed by the property owner, their agent or their solicitor to confirm that the repossession is complete and the property has been handed back to the owner. I'm the owner. They are the squatters. I want my house handed back to me. Possession is enforcement and county court enforcement jurisdiction limit is £5,000. Section 17 County Courts Act 1984. The plaintiff shall not recover in the action an amount exceeding the county court limit. No county court claim can exceed £5,000. This is paragraph 25.21 from the King's Bench Guide.
There is some uncertainty as to whether a judgment of the county court that is transferred to the High Court for enforcement can be regarded as a judgment which will be enforced in a foreign country under the 1920 Administration of Justice Act or 1933 Foreign Judgments Reciprocal Enforcement Act. In cases where enforcement outside the jurisdiction is anticipated, the better course may be to commence the proceedings in the High Court, or to seek transfer of the proceedings from the county court at the outset, so that the judgment is obtained in the High Court. Some uncertainty is a euphemism for can't, because the county court limit is £5,000. At the outset is a euphemism for can't be done in the county court. British citizens are ripped off by a corrupt court system that is concealed from citizens of other nations. The UK is a signatory to The Hague, and The Hague 2005 and 2019 should be protecting me. The lender. I'm told the mortgage lender is Lloyds Bank brand Bank of Scotland that doesn't provide mortgages. The Halifax Bank is not the so-called Bank of Scotland. I'm the registered owner of my house. I've never had a mortgage. Bank of Scotland's Welsh Blackmail falsely states they provided a £213,000 mortgage. But the blackmailer's deed has no amount and no provision. This house is worth £1 million. If they had provided a £213,000 mortgage, it wouldn't give them the power to repossess. No one has any right to take possession of my house or repossess my house. Mortgage deed delivery means the deed states both lender and borrower are bound by the deed's provisions. Bank of Scotland's limping forged deed has not been delivered. The forgery breaches the Law of Property Act 1925, the Law of Property Miscellaneous Provisions 1989, Land Registry Act 2002, and Companies Act 2006, and the blackmailer's deed is defective. Under Land Registry Act 2003, a mortgage deed must be lawful, but HM Land Registry registered the forgery, making Bank of Scotland owner of my house, and this forces me into accepting extortion. You can still make money out of this negative situation. This is organised extortion involving police and government agencies. I want my house back and these criminals imprisoned.
You have to go to the High Court.
Okay, you're being told.
You have to have a High Court case.
So, case the writ is in front of you, sir.
The writ is not from the High Court.
Sir, if you read it, sir, you'll see.
No, that's just you asking for a writ from the High Court. It's not a High Court case.
This thug has apparently just taken cocaine and defecated in my toilet.
Not a High Court case, it's a county court case. You've asked for a writ from the High Court, which you can't have for possession.
At the end of the day, you're going to be leaving.
Yeah, well, I'll wait for the police. Thank you. I've been injured. Smashed the door before I even got to open it. Unbelievable. So, you don't have to smash the door down before we got a chance.
The problem being is, I think you've had heat regarding possibly putting up some sort of defence.
The thugs clench their jaws and stare at the man who's talking. They want him to shut up. He's just admitted they've broken in, caused me GBH in an attempted murder, and this heat from the mob is because of Carol's law notices that warn the public by explaining the rule of law and how law should defend the public against the mob.
Like what?
No, putting the signs up, putting things on Facebook.
Signs? That's what you're supposed to do. That's your legal right, is to put a sign up.
Criminals don't want victims to have a defence. They oppose my wife acting in the public's interest by publicising the rule of law via notices on the garden fence. PC Pearl arrives.
They have an entry power, which is warranted, so they can force their way in regardless.
They don't have an entry power. PC Pearl outright lies. There is no warrant. When my wife speaks to PC Pearl, she reminds him of the law and his lawful duty and gives him a copy of Section 6 Criminal Law Act 1977. PC Pell replies, "Oh, I appreciate that, but he does not enforce the law as he should."
Who are you? Who are you? What's your name? This is broadcast quality, this is. I remember you. We met before, didn't we?
Met before,
yeah.
Do you want to have this chat now?
Changed your hair a little bit, but you look pretty much the same.
That's okay.
You like these jobs here, don't you?
I've been here once, madam. I've been here once.
No, I think you've been here more than once.
No, just once.
What are we going to chat about?
Well, you wanted to speak to me, didn't you? So.
Well, I don't know. Are you a law enforcer?
No, I'm a police officer.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a police officer.
So you're not a law enforcer? No. That's the law.
Okay.
That's the law you should be following. If people break into someone's house and the occupier...
Criminal Law Act, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. That's what it says.
Okay. Listen to me, madam. I appreciate this.
Oh, good.
But there's a High Court warrant stamped and in paper.
You don't get High Court warrants to break into people's houses.
If you've read it,
you get a High Court writ.
Power of entry.
No, it's a forgery. No, you don't get a High Court warrant. You get a High Court warrant for committal.
That is about, madam. That's
the only High Court warrant. The warrant of committal.
You're not listening to me. You're just shouting over me and pointing cameras in people's faces, aren't you? Do you actually want to have a constructive chat? Like a professional constructive chat?
What's it going to be about? Okay. Professional, did you say?
There's 12 High Court enforcement agencies here. They don't just turn up for no reason.
Yeah, they do. When they're stealing property, they do.
They have
like
a High
this.
Court writ, madam, which is stamped.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, let's show it. Has someone got a copy of the writ? Thank you.
The writ has to be delivered. The writ has to be delivered and it hasn't been.
It depends on who.
No, it doesn't. There's strict laws regarding all this sort of thing.
As I've said to your husband, who's going to be coming.
Oh, here we are, proffering the forgery.
So before I explain this, right, so this is clearly photocopied, obviously. There's multiple different copies.
Well, where's the actual sealed writ that in a genuine procedure would be delivered?
It's exactly the same as this.
14 days before. No, it's
exactly
not.
The same as
because
this.
it's sealed.
Okay.
Has a seal on it. Have you ever seen a real one, or do you only deal with forgeries?
PC Pearl snorts with recognition. He only deals in forgery.
Yeah, you don't even know what it should be like. It should be sealed.
I just can't believe I'm having this conversation with you.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
Obviously, at the time you stood behind the door.
Because they were knocking and asking to come in, and then they smashed the door, and I'm going to report
They don't have to. Obviously, you stood behind the door. If they're going to force
No, they knocked, and I went to open it, and they smashed it in my face with a Johnson thing. They didn't give me a chance.
He lies and gaslights me to cover up the serious crimes of attempted murder and aggravated burglary.
They knocked and asked me to come down.
If that's how they've carried out their warrant, then that's how they've carried it out.
Bailiffs cannot lawfully break into an occupied dwelling. There is no warrant. The kinetic breaching ram is a weapon. The next breaching stage is ballistics.
If that's how they've carried out their warrant, then that's how they've carried it out.
PC Pearl can see my injuries. Cerebrospinal fluid is leaking from my ears. I'm bleeding. My wounds are inflamed. There's a hematoma on my head.
If that's how they've carried out their warrant, then that's how they've carried it out, isn't it?
He legitimizes the mob's illegal and gratuitous use of explosive kinetic energy.
If that's how they've carried out their warrant, then that's how they've carried it out, isn't it?
He negates the GBH I suffered, the attempted murder of me, the aggravated burglary, blackmail, criminal damage, false representation, forgery, the obvious breach of the peace, and the displacement of my family from my house and the loss of our home.
If that's how they've carried out their warrant, then that's how they've carried it out, isn't it?
The rammer has perfected the physics. This weapon can easily kill, and it's used by an attempted murderer who remains at large. The rammer's name is Charlie Marsh. And holding me prisoner in my son's bedroom is Charlie Marsh's father, the Lot Father. The Lot Father is Andrew Edwin John Marsh.
attempted murderer Charlie Marsh is aided and abetted by his father, the Lock Father, and his attempted murder of me is committed with police approval. There was no fire or barricaded felony at my house to justify battering ram use. Importantly, no warning was given. Squatters were not living there, but squatters live there now. The Lock Father and son, Charlie Marsh, are associates of the Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office provide High Court enforcement officers and certified enforcement agents, also known as bailiffs. The Lock Father is a guest writer for the Sheriff's Office, allegedly on the subject of safety and the law. When High Court enforcement officers are carrying out an eviction, the client might have sent ill-equipped locksmith or general builder. Specialist equipment is often needed, and this may include hydraulic door spreaders, hooligan bars, petrol disc cutters, and the famous enforcer battering rams seen on many police TV shows. Commercial properties, squatter eviction. Quick and quiet entry is paramount when enforcing a writ of possession against persons unknown in a commercial property. I'm not an unknown squatter, and my house is not a commercial property. Residential property, eviction of tenants. With notice served, it is likely the occupiers will be fully aware of the impending arrival of High Court enforcement agents and may have already left and leave peacefully upon attendance. For those that have left or remain in the property, again, in such cases, it is important that a non-destructive entry is made to ensure no damage is done to the doors and frame. I'm not a tenant. I'm the proprietor. I own my house. And gratuitous damage was done to me and to all my external doors and door frame.
Can I bailiffs open up? Open the door, please.
You have no authority here. You have no authority here. You have no authority.
My central nervous system was immediate. Cerebrospinal fluid started leaking from my ears. As I pulled myself up from the stairs, the sight of the battering ram and hooligan bar confronted me. Because there is so much violence in my life, I wear a body cam. I see the rammer and criminal with hooligan bar hide their weapons. The ram and bar passed right and slipped out of sight.
Later, the lockfather orders the ram and bar I used to smash my gate. Then the lockfather hides the weapons in his AMASH Range Rover. The lockfather assaults my son. Hooligan and lockfather share a big smile. Five men are now inside my house, and lockfather gives the order to unnecessarily smash my gate and kitchen door. Once the gratuitous criminal damage is complete, lockfather takes the weapons back to his Range Rover. Lockfather puts the attempted murder weapon in his vehicle and out of sight prior to police arriving. My son Oscar called for police. He's not given a crime reference number. The police who arrive do not speak with Oscar and do not take a witness statement from him or anyone else. The lockfather's company's house accounts state the company is owed £822,379, but states there are 0 employees.
You're a bunch of crooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a lady who points cameras in people's faces?
Most of these men wear body cameras, including the police.
What am I going to do?
Sorry?
You're stealing everything from me. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
You want me to go quietly? How would you like it? How would you like it?
On the pavement.
Madam, you've got to come out.
I've been told that this is communal. In fact, you told me.
This is gated.
Ha ha ha. You told me. You actually told me when I was assaulted here that this is communal.
Okay? That's different.
Now it's not. Ah ha ha. Did you see that? How he changed his story.
Thank you.
What a hypocrite. Just say whatever you want to get through the moment. What a bunch of cowards. You're just cowards. You've got no identity in your vehicle. Nothing on your flash vehicle. Look how much you criminals make doing all this. Fake legal procedures. Fabricated court cases. Forgery after forgery.
At the same time as these criminals change the locks to our house and throw us off the land we own outright, hundreds of miles away at Carol's bungalow, this handwritten blackmail that aims to force us to take a menial offer for our house that we have not put up for sale is hand-delivered. This is organised extortion by an ultra-right-wing mafia and how life is in Britain in 2026. Rammer's son, Charlie Marsh, and Andrew Lockfather Marsh are central to this serious crime wave sweeping across Britain. professional business. We take health and safety legislation seriously. Our staff undertake regular training to ensure they are safe and act within the law. Ha bloody ha. This video proves these thugs are an extreme risk to public safety, and they do not act within the law. When they broke in and forced their way up my stairs, I could see the lockfather pushing the scrum. He soon reaches the top of my stairs. The lockfather pushed up my stairs and stood guard over me. His website doesn't mention he provides this lawless thuggery. I'm not the first person to be injured by the lockfather. If the law is not enforced and these men remain at large, I won't be the last. In Maidstone, in 2019, Kent Police, road bailiffs and the lockfather committed attempted murder. Andrew Marsh, lockfather, who also has no authority to act as an enforcement agent, bailiff, forced entry onto private domestic land and into family homes. Over 5 years later, the illegality and risk to life remains the same. Council involvement is the same as my case. I do not know if the occupiers were the actual owner, as is the case with me. The lockfather and Bent Police worked together to injure and rob the public. The criminal with the hooligan bar and Andrew and Charlie Marsh commit GBH, attempted murder and aggravated burglary, and theft of my house's ownership and occupancy with police collusion. PC Pearl abuses his power to promote crime against me and my family and makes gain for the mob. Outside wait 3 police organised squatters. They now live in my house.
And that's how they've carried it out, isn't it?
No. You don't smash people in the face and you don't injure them. It doesn't matter.
Okay, the doors collided with yourself, obviously, when they forced their way in, okay?
They knocked and said, can you let us in? And I went to let them in, and they smashed the door.
Sometimes when people do this, they fake these things, don't they? And then they barge their way in. And then they have to...
You have to take it that everybody might open the door.
The eggshell skull rule is a basic principle in law, and it applies here. The breaching ram use is illegal and reckless. You have to put public safety first and not call people to a door you are about to illegally ram. This is attempted murder.
Not necessarily, do they?
Why? Because obviously you're going to injure someone. If they're going to open the door, if they ask to come in, and you're going to open... No. But there's a...
Significantly, PC Pearl now hides his next statement by covering his mouth with his hand.
Criminal offence. Whoever has smashed the door...
PC Pearl speaks under his breath, but loud enough for his body cam.
Whoever has smashed the door...
Tries to protect the mob by falsely accusing me of assault. At the material time, I naively expected him to do his job.
Whoever has smashed the door...
Due to my injuries, I didn't hear his comment.
Whoever has smashed the door...
It was only later when I viewed the video that I realised he was stitching me up.
Whoever has smashed the door...
Previously, when my wife and I were victims of GBH, PC Pearl erased our statement to protect the mob. He classified the GBH as car crime. 3 men had attacked my wife and I in a planned assault. My wife complained that the Metropolitan Police at Brixton Police Station were not investigating, and in a reprisal, the police charged my wife and alleged that she had assaulted the 3 men. There was no evidence Carol had assaulted the 3 men. All video evidence showed we were the victims, but the Met wouldn't charge the attackers. When we gave up seeking justice, the charges against Carol were dropped.
Whoever has smashed the door...
Under his breath, he falsely claims I assaulted someone. The crimes against my person are GBH and attempted murder. The use of an illegal manual kinetic ram has injured me. Cerebrospinal fluid is leaking from my ears. I'm seriously injured and going deaf, and PC Pearl is laughing at me, stitching me up and robbing me and displacing me.
Has done 8, that's GBH.
PC Pearl is trying not to show that he is laughing at me. His partner, PC Phipps, leaves the room laughing. The police involved in aiding my mother's murder and the theft of the ownership of my £40 million farm, Wyfold Grange, bar the same method of blackmail, treating me and my family like trespassers, the police breaking in and conducting a fake landlord eviction, also had a good laugh at my expense.
Is actually cutting the skin and bleeding. It's beyond ABH. I've damaged my hand, I got hit on the head, I got smashed in the head by the door as I was trying to fucking...
Well, everything here is recorded on body worn,
yes.
Isn't it, at the end of the day? We're here just to facilitate the action piece.
PC Pierce said the same thing to my wife. PC Pearl informs me he is in attendance to facilitate a breach of peace.
We're here just to facilitate the action piece. We're here just to facilitate the action piece.
Some criminals like to confess their crime while they commit the offence.
We're here just to facilitate the action piece.
He never takes a statement from me.
And what do I need to do to make a statement?
We'll deal with that once this has all been done, okay? At this moment in time. But also, there's counter allegations as well, isn't there? So
of what?
Of assault.
Oh, really?
Because you pushed them as well, etc.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, look at them.
We're going to deal with this.
Look at them all. Oh, poor little chaps, poor little chaps, poor little things. It's so sad.
You're going to have to obviously gather what you need to and leave the property, alright? Okay.
Well, looks like, this criminal activity is going to take over.
Police are asset stripping me. In 2023, I was displaced from my farm and robbed of ownership of my farm and had my farm business stolen by the same method PC Pearl is using to conduct this displacement and robbery. This man killed my mother by putting 2 metal 10cm stents inside my mother for no justifiable reason. Predictably, the metal stent in her stomach tore through the stomach wall and she died. A CT scan shows the 2 fatal metal stents. One is in my mother's esophagus, the other is in her stomach. She was lied to by Dr. Chandra. She was told they were a dissolvable indigestion cure. When he inserted them, he did not state 2 10cm metal stents are inherently fatal. 2 10cm by 2cm metal stents were weaponized to kill my mother. The kinetic breaching ram was weaponized in an attempt to kill me. Once my mother was dead, police hostility towards me increased. Police trespassed daily and tried to break in several times. On the 7th of 9th, 23, police broke in, assaulted my wife and I, and threw us out, just as PC Pearl is doing. And those police took control of my farm, and criminals are £40 million richer. I had no debt at my farm, just as I have no debt at my London house. 07/9/23, police broke into my farm and threw my family and I out and robbed us of everything. At my farm, Thames Valley Police committed aggravated burglary. They refused to explain or investigate. Thames Valley Police and the Metropolitan Police have used the same bullshit county court landlord eviction blackmail tactics to try to justify robbing me of my land. Only under Section 68 Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994 can PC Pearl ask a trespasser to leave a dwelling if he reasonably suspects the crime of aggravated trespass is being committed. However, PC Pearl has met me before. He's attended my house before. He knows I own my house. He knows, therefore, I'm not an aggravating trespasser, and I'm injured in an attempted murder. Therefore, PC Pearl is knowingly breaking the law by telling me to leave my own house. PC Pearl has told me that he was there to facilitate a breach of peace. He was not impartial. He was lying to me and coercing me to leave my land. PC Pearl and all the police constables who attended my house, 40 Archbishop's Place, on the 8th of the 5th, 2026, are guilty under Section 26 Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015.
Looks like criminal activity is going to take over. Yeah. I'll speak to my wife.
Yeah, well, she's outside at the minute recording everyone.
Yeah. Good.
Are you? So what's your plan now?
My plan is to speak to her and see what we're going to do. That's my son. I spoke to my son.
The son's packing the stuff. He's been amicable. We are that. He's coming back to the This gentleman just needs to put a pair of shoes on and plate.
Alright, then. Right, let's get some stuff on and then let's leave, alright?
Alright.
Yeah.
Go on then.
I'd like everybody's name.
Yeah, we can. You get everyone's name. We can sort all of that out after.
Let's just get this done first, and we can deal with the admin after, can't we?
Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015, Section 26, corrupt or other improper exercise of police powers and privileges.
A police constable guilty of an offence under this section is liable on conviction on indictment to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 14 years or a fine or both.
Six Metropolitan Police Constables were at my house on the 8th of the 5th, 2026, and they all agreed with PC Pearl that I had to give my house to criminals and my injuries could not be reported to the police. You heard it here first. The crimes of attempted murder, GBH, aggravated burglary, blackmail, criminal damage, theft are no longer crimes.
This is wanton criminality. Who are you people? Who are you? Who are you? No, it has not been explained. Where's your identity? Who are you?
So there's a stamped writ in front of you, sir.
No, are you a law enforcer?
No, I'm a police officer.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a police officer.
So you're not a law enforcer, no. That's the law.
Okay.
That's the law you should be following.
We're here just to facilitate future peace. We're here just to facilitate future peace. If that's how they've carried out their work, then that's how they've carried it out, isn't it?